Hey and welcome back. In the last video, we talked all about numbers in C#. Today, we're going to cover strings. Strings is basically just text. You then just have to wrap that text inside of quotation marks. Strings can go from being empty to containing thousands and thousands of characters. These characters can really be anything. You can put simple letters, numbers, and even punctuation. Strings are used quite a lot in game development, be that to create UI elements, to display a set of rules, to create a dialogue system, and much more. Two or more strings can be added together, which we call concatenation. To do so, you just have to add the plus symbol in between the strings. So if you add the string hello with the string world, you'll get as a result the string hello world. You will have to either add a space at the end of hello or at the beginning of world. You'll note that you cannot add a string and a number together. It will just give you an error message. We can also retrieve a specific character from a string by putting a pair of square brackets and then specifying the index of the character. An index is the position of the character in the string. So if I want to select the H inside of the hello string, I will need to type a 0 inside of the square brackets. We are saying 0 and not 1 because indexing in C# starts at 0. If we then want to select the O, I will need to type in a 4 inside of the square brackets. It's important to remember that spaces also count as characters. So if you have a string saying hello world with a space in between hello and world, well, you can return that space by putting a 5 inside of the square brackets. Also, make sure that the index exists because if you put something like 50, it will just return an error message saying that the character with that index could not be found. If you want to return multiple characters from a string, you can type that string and then add dot substring with a capital S, followed with a pair of parentheses, and then inside of those parentheses you have to specify two things. The first one is the index that you would like your new string to start from, then put a comma, and the second one is the length of that new string. So for example, if I have got the string Google and I want to retrieve the last 3 letters, I would type google.substring followed with a pair of parentheses in which I would type 3 for the index and also 3 for the length. Or in this case, you can simply omit the length number because if you don't put any value for it, C# will automatically continue the new string all the way until the end of the original string. There are a ton of things that you can do with strings in C#, so we're not going to cover all of them. But a last important one that I will mention is the length of a string. So if you type in any string and then put .length with a capital L at the end of it, it will return an integer with the length of that string. So basically, how many characters does it contain? So if I type hello.length, that will return the number 5 because there are 5 characters in the string hello. Alright, so with this knowledge, let's jump into Unity and play around with some strings. Inside of my project, I will create a new C# script called strings. Then I'll double click on it to open it up inside of my text editor. Inside of the start function, I'll print out to the Unity console the string hello my name is Liam. Then on another line, I'll print out hello.length plus liam.length. So the length of hello is 5 and the length of Liam is 4. And so we are adding up 5 and 4, which will return the number 9. Lastly, I will print the substring of the string elephant that starts at index 3 and has a size of 4. So the index of 3 corresponds to the 4th letter because remember indexing starts at 0, so that would be the letter P. And then a size of 4 will bring us all the way to the letter N. So our substring will be fan. Awesome, let's now save our script by pressing Ctrl S or Command S and go back inside of Unity to test if we were right. So I'll now select the game object that has the number script attached to it, and I'll press the cork icon and remove that component. Now we can drag and drop our new string script onto it. Now press the play button and open up the console, and you'll see that the 3 prints that we predicted showed up. Okay, so to conclude, in this video we talked about a couple common use cases of strings, which are for displaying UI, for dialogue systems, and for displaying rules. We then covered a couple tools that we can use with strings, like concatenation to add multiple strings together, the square brackets to retrieve a certain character from a string, the dot substring to get multiple characters within a string, and finally the length of a string. We also understood that indexing starts at 0 in C#. And finally, we practice a little. Okay, anyways, that marks the end of this video. In the next one, you'll find a problem set to train you with numbers and strings. I'll see you over there.